Elements such as landscapes, sounds, perfumes, music or even people can serve as triggers for remembering past experiences. These factors, which do not seem to have an obvious connection with the present, can awaken in us a feeling of familiarity with something or someone, as if we had already experienced something similar in other lives. These stimuli can activate astral memory, a type of spiritual memory that transcends physical time and accesses records from previous lives. When we encounter certain individuals or environments, we can feel instant sympathy or aversion, even without rationally knowing these people or places. This may be the result of past relationships, where the person we meet now may have been, in other existences, an ally or an enemy. This process of intuitive recognition of souls with whom we have had previous experiences may be a way for the soul to recognize these vibrations from the past, activating inexplicable feelings and reactions in the present. Often, our affinity with a person may be more linked to the energy or spiritual nature they emanate, rather than their appearance or social status. For example, we encounter people who, even though they are humble or rude, arouse instant sympathy, while more refined or higher status individuals may not make the same impression on us. These phenomena are attributed to spiritual bonds that transcend the flesh and external appearances. Our situations in the present life, such as poverty, difficulties or privileges, can be direct reflections of actions in past lives. When someone lives in a humble or submissive situation in the present, like a janitor, for example, this may be a reflection of selfish attitudes or abuse of power in other existences. The experience of being in a position of authority, such as a nobleman or a leader, may have generated an accumulation of karmic debts that manifest in your current life in an inverted way. It doesn't matter what social status or material titles someone has in an existence, as these achievements are ephemeral and of little relevance in the spiritual world. On the spiritual plane, what prevails are the virtues developed by the soul over several lifetimes. This suggests that the true measure of spiritual progress is not found in social recognition, wealth or worldly honors, but rather in the purity of the spirit and the moral evolution of the soul. Thus, we must look at the present moment and the current conditions of our lives as an opportunity to correct past failures and learn the lessons that the present offers us. Instead of focusing on what we were or did in the past, the important thing is to reflect on what we can learn from the present situation and how we can improve our spiritual journey based on this understanding. Although many people eagerly seek to understand their past lives, this knowledge may not be essential for immediate spiritual growth. He compares this search to curiosity about our personal history. As interesting as it is to know what happened in the past, what really matters is what we are doing in the present. Often, the desire to know one's reincarnation past is related to vanity or the desire to know if we were important figures in other lives. However, in the spiritual world, material titles and status have little value. The soul is evaluated based on the virtues it develops and the degree of evolution it achieves, not on social position or accumulated wealth. Unlike the quest for power or recognition, what really matters are the lessons of humility, compassion, and love, which are fundamental to spiritual evolution. Instead of worrying about whether we were nobles, kings, or emperors, the focus should be on cultivating spiritual virtues, such as humility and kindness, which are more valuable than any material title. Souls who are attracted to these superficial matters often ignore the value of inner character, which is the true spiritual treasure. Although knowledge of the past is not an immediate priority for everyone, in the future, all spirits will have to revisit their past to better understand their failures and mistakes. This process of self-knowledge is crucial for planning future incarnations, as a complete understanding of our reincarnation past will allow us to adjust our spiritual programming to correct mistakes made and learn from lessons still pending. Understanding reincarnation can be fundamental to the process of liberation from the cycle of reincarnation. The desires and passions that drive us to return to the physical plane are seen as the underlying causes of the need for new incarnations. By understanding these motivations, the soul can free itself from these chains and reach a stage of greater spirituality and evolution. In this way, the search for self-knowledge, including about the past, can be a useful tool for correcting repetitive patterns of behavior, addictions, and emotional failures. Reflecting on past incarnations can help the soul understand why certain problems or obstacles arise in its current life and thus take steps to overcome them in a more conscious way. The memory of past lives must occur gradually, as not all souls are prepared to deal with the pain or the surprises that this revelation can bring. For many people, the idea of learning about past failures and mistakes can be devastating, especially if they still consider themselves morally perfect. This process of recognition can be painful, and the revelation of wrongdoing in past lives can cause a deep emotional crisis. For example, someone who considers themselves virtuous may be shocked to discover that in a previous life they were selfish or even criminal. The same goes for those who, in their current lives, are proud of their social position or respectable conduct, but who, upon learning about their past, may come across immoral or dishonest behavior. This reality check process can be deeply uncomfortable, but it is also essential for spiritual maturation. In facing these revelations, the soul is forced to recognize its flaws and work to overcome past vices and mistakes. In many cases, the truth about the past can be revealed gradually, as the person prepares to deal with the emotions and feelings involved. This process must be done carefully, to prevent the soul from feeling overwhelmed or helpless in the face of the difficulties it may encounter when revisiting its previous lives. It is necessary to cultivate humility and compassion when dealing with the memory of the past. See a passage from the Gospel of Jesus, "Judge not, lest you be judged," as a fundamental lesson for those who seek self-knowledge and understanding of past failures. The idea is that, instead of judging yourself or others, we should cultivate a more generous and open outlook, recognizing that everyone has a past full of mistakes and challenges. True spiritual wisdom does not come from a moral judgment about others or oneself, but from a deep understanding of human nature and the practice of forgiveness. The soul that seeks evolution needs to learn to forgive, to accept its own faults and those of others, without falling into the temptation of pride or hasty judgment. In this way, the spiritual journey becomes a process of self-discovery and purification, where forgiveness and acceptance are powerful tools to achieve true inner peace. Therefore, past life knowledge is a powerful tool, but it must be treated with great care and discernment. Although the past has an influence on the present, the most important thing is the transformation that occurs in the now, the spiritual work in the present. True spiritual evolution lies in the development of virtues and the improvement of character. By learning from past mistakes, the soul can achieve a more complete evolution and prepare for happier and more balanced future incarnations. If you like this content and want more reflections on spirituality and self-knowledge, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video. Your registration helps us to continue bringing stories and teachings that can transform your life. Join us on this journey of evolution and discovery.